Hello, I'm Dave Harris. I'm the Midland Railway Study Centre Coordinator here at the Museum of Making at Derby Siltmill. I've been asked to tell you about a few of the objects that we've got in our collection and why I think that they are important and what's so lovely about them. This object is a lovely brass teapot stand, or so it seems. Actually, it's emblematic of the transition from the chaos of the early Victorian railways to the order and control of the 20th century. In 1908, the Midland Railway introduced a system that they called the system of traffic control to allow them to know where their trains were at any given time. And to do that, the signalman had to be able to read the numbers of the engines as they passed and report them back to control. For the signalman to be able to do that, especially in the dark at night, large painted numerals were applied to the engines. And that meant the end of the brass Victorian numerals, which looked so nice but were impractical. Almost overnight, in 1907, the fleet of engines was renumbered, and all the old brass numbers were taken off and thrown into the furnace for recycling. All except this 0, which some enterprising soul saved, attached some feet to, and turned into a lovely brass teapot stand. Industrial relations on the Midland Railway is a complex but interesting subject. In the history of the Midland Railway, there were 2 strikes, one in 1887, which lasted for several weeks and was incredibly acrimonious, and another in 1911, which only lasted for 2 days, but was the first national rail strike involving all the railway companies, as the unions fought for recognition from the railway companies. The government sent in troops to guard railway infrastructure from sabotage, and police were used to escort goods deliveries around the country. It was resolved quickly, however, and the government made concessions to the railway unions, and arising out of that strike, the National Union of Railwaymen was formed. To commemorate the event, the mug in front of me was commissioned by some railway workers, presumably from the Yorkshire area, because some of the mottos on it are very specific to Yorkshire. For example, it reads, "Tykes, see all, say note, eat all, sup all and pay note." And it carries on, "And if there does out for note, do it always for this end." A reflection of Edwardian times and an important memento of Midland Railway industrial relations. Railways are dangerous places, obviously. Back in Victorian and Edwardian days, exceptionally dangerous places. A local coroner to Long Eaton once referred to the Toton sidings as the Midland Railway slaughterhouse. So bad were things. If a person was injured while working on the railway, there was no such thing as paramedics, obviously, and even ambulances had to be summoned by messenger and would take forever to arrive, and railway sidings, almost by definition, were inaccessible from the roads. So it fell to a worker's own mates to look after them should they be injured. And so the Midland Railway took what they referred to as ambulance classes extremely seriously, and even to the point of awarding medals to people who rendered first aid, sometimes not so successfully, other times successfully so. We've got several of these ambulance boxes in the collection, which were effectively first aid kits, but contained also things like splints and iodine and such like to help treat injured railwaymen. The one here is particularly interesting because it still contains its original list of contents dated 1914, as well as some of the splints and a large triangular bandage. Rudimentary at best, but in absence of a doctor or anybody with formal medical training, the best that an injured railwayman could hope for. I hope you've enjoyed that very quick glimpse at some of the items in the collection here at the Museum of Making. Please do come and visit for yourself. All of these items are available on the assemblage for you to look at without an appointment. Please come, enjoy. There's plenty to see.